Let's have a look at this word problem with respect to sound. Find the sound level in decibels of two sounds which are at the extremes of hearing. The first intensity is at the pain threshold, 1 watt per square meter, at 1000 hertz, and the other is at the hearing threshold. And what does this mean? Well, let's have a look. I'm going to draw a picture of an ear as best as I can. Let's see, it's something like this. Here, and you have an earlobe down here, and some crevices. There we go. And this is an ear. So our hearing, at the minimum that we can hear, put it down here, in terms of watts per square meter, the minimum that we can hear is 1 times 10 to the minus 12 watts per square meter. This is actually the minimum threshold. And at the maximum that we can hear without the pain, the maximum we can hear without pain in terms of watts per square meter is 1.0 watts per square meter. So this is the range of our hearing in terms of intensities, I. In terms of intensity, and intensity has the letter I. So below this, we can't hear anything. This is the absolute threshold of what we can hear. And this is basically babies, children, 2-year-old, 3 years old, whose hearing isn't damaged. They can hear this small amount. Me, myself, after decades of being alive and listening to music, well, I can't hear this low anymore. And here is the threshold of pain. Once we get, if this is noise level, some noise that reaching this kind of intensity is painful to the ear and will also damage your ear. And let's find out what this range is in terms of decibels. That's what this question is asking us. Change this in terms of decibels. What is this range? Now let's find out. Here's the equation for sound levels in decibels. Sound level, and we'll abbreviate that to SL, and the units will be decibels. And I talked about decibels in a prior video. Is equal to 10 times the log base 10 of these two intensities. I over, and I'm going to call this one I naught. And we'll call this one I, and this one I naught. I sub 0, also pronounced I naught. And 0 in the Old English, naught. This is a term for 0 back in Old English. So this is pronounced I naught. This will be the hearing threshold. And every other intensity level above I naught will be I. So our equation will look like this. And these will have units, watts per square meter. Having said that, let's decipher this word problem. So we have here sound level in decibels is equal to 10 times the log base 10 of the threshold of hearing, I naught, is this one, 10 to the minus 12 watts per square meter. And at the maximum that we can hear, which will be I, is 1. If you were to reverse these two, you just simply wind up with a negative decibels, negative value here, and you just put it back such that you get positive. So here's the equation is all set up, nothing left to do here except to put this in the calculator and solve. And the watts per square meters will cancel out, and that's a good thing because when you do a logarithm, it's a logarithm of a number without units. This is a dimensionless number. Rewriting that. The sound level, it's going to have the units of decibels, is equal to 10 as a factor in order to change bells into decibels, and see a prior video. Log base 10 of these two numbers, 1.0 divided by 1 times 10 to the minus 12. Now let's put this in our calculator and find out what the sound level will be in terms of decibels. So we have 10 times, and I'll just write down here, times the log. And when I press log in this calculator, it's already understood that log is already base 10. Log of the bracket, open that bracket, 1.0 divided by 1 exponential minus 12, and close that bracket. So I basically reproduce this in my calculator. Press that equal sign, and the answer is 1.20 times 10 to the power of 12, and the unit's going to be decibels. So the sound level, just moving this decimal place over 2 spaces, 1, 2, 120 decibels. And that is the range from the minimum that we can hear to the maximum where pain occurs. And what does this really mean? Well, let's have a look at some sounds. This represents sounds that we hear by using a meter, the sound level meter. Sound level meter will give us numbers in terms of decibels. Let's see what that means with respect to some sounds. And here's a chart. Let's have a look at this. So the hearing threshold, where we can't hear anything at all, in terms of decibels, is 0. Rustling leaves has the value of 10 decibels. Now, whisper, 20 decibels. Quiet radio. Normal conversation. If I had a sound level meter and I were to record the sound levels as individuals are talking, it will give me terms of decibels. 65 decibels would be normal conversation. Bay street corner or busy street corner, subway car, and the pain threshold is something at 120 decibels. Beyond 120, like the jet engine or the noise in the factory, beyond 120, damage will occur to your ear. This is the pain threshold. And what we've done, we've calculated the in decibels, what the range is from 0 to the maximum that we can hear without pain, which turns out to be 120 decibels. That's what we have calculated here. Going back to my little diagram of the ear, the minimum that we can hear to the maximum that we can hear in terms of decibels, the minimum to the max, this range, or the difference between the two, in terms of decibels, is 120 decibels.